The Supreme Court filing on student loans. This is the same week that Fed Governor Christopher Waller had said that pay increases across the economy should slow because there's too much money, essentially, in the economy. Are there concerns from the administration about the inflationary effects of student loan debt forgiveness?
So look, I want to be careful. Again, the Federal Reserve is an independent body, and so I'm not going to comment on the actions by the Fed or remarks from Fed officials as well. So again, they're independent, and we respect the independence of the Federal Reserve. So I will say this, that the president's top priority is tackling, especially when it comes to the economy, is tackling inflation and lowering prices for the American families. That's why he's taken the actions that he has on gas prices. That's why he's taken, that's why Democrats and the president took the actions that you saw and signed into law. The president signed into law the Inflation Reduction Act. So as the president said today, this week's data shows sign of progress in lowering inflation without giving up any of the economic gains that we have seen the past 20 months. But again, when it comes to this particular federal official that you're asking about, I'm not going to comment. But again, I just laid out more broadly where we see the economic situation.
Specifically on the loans, has the administration analyzed any potential inflationary effects of student loan forgiveness?
Again, by making those comments is kind of connected to what the federal officials.
Okay, full-blown stop,
Okay.
Nothing to do with the Fed.
Well, that's the way you asked the question, so that's the way I was answering the
Has
question.
the administration analyzed any potential inflationary effects of student loan forgiveness, the plan that the administration has enacted?
It's a good question that you're asking, but look, the president has always, I don't have any data to share with you on that particular question, but the president has been very clear. He wants to make sure that he's lowering cost for the American people. He feels that the student debt relief, especially as we were talking about lifting the pause at the end of this year, he wanted to make sure that he was giving those families, those American middle-class families, a little bit of a breathing room, especially as they're dealing with cost. And so it was a campaign promise that he had made and that he wanted to keep. But more importantly, he knows that this is going to help tens of millions of Americans across the country, up to 40 million people. And again, this is going to give an opportunity to an American family, a middle-class family across the country, to start a family, to buy a house, and that matters. When you see a number of 26 million people who went to the website to sign up, that tells you how important this plan is.
And finally, does the former president's announcement this week have any bearing on the current president's calculation in his decision as to whether he's going to run again?
So again, Hatch Act, going to be very careful. You're asking me about an election that's coming up in 2024. The president has been very clear that he intends to run, and so I'm going to leave it there.
Karine, can I follow up on the student debt question? Is that all right?
Oh, I'm going to take one last question. Go ahead, because I've answered the student debt question multiple times today. But go ahead. I'm going to take your question.